So Alex Honnold, arguably the most famous free climber in the world, and the major topic of free solo, which was a movie that was quite popular, remarkable movie. If you've never seen it, you should see it. But Alex was asked on a podcast, what do you do to deal with fear? And Alex, of course, if you don't know what free climbing is, it's rock climbing but without ropes. And he, in the movie Free Solo, he climbed El Capitan, which is 3,000 plus feet in Yosemite. Only one ever to actually do it. And he's free climbed for a pretty long time. But his response to what do you do about fear was quite interesting. He said, what happens is you start to get afraid and you start to think about what could happen. And he says, it makes it worse. You tighten up, you get more tense. He says, you get more tentative. He says, and at some point in time, what you have to do is you just have to face the situation and, okay, how do I get myself out of this? And he said, I've just had lots and lots of experience of being in that situation and making myself get out of it. I had basically no choice. He says, and the only real advice he had besides that part was just, okay, I take some deep breaths and I just get to business. I do what needs to happen. So, and his point was, he said, it's the actions you take that ultimately end up calming you down, and then just practice. He's like, I've had 25 plus years. He says, when I climbed El Capitan, I had 25 plus years of preparing for it, learning my skills, climbing on smaller things, harder things, easier things. And he said, I just got experience. He said, I got used to, I realized that fear, that I could face it, and that it was my actions that got me out of it. And it is just part of the deal. And I realized that fear can actually be good because it makes you lock in on what you need to attend to so that you can solve the problem. My experience with the retinal thing this past year was quite scary because I was faced with losing my eyesight. Remember how scary that was? And when you're face down, second procedure in surgery, that is definitely scary. But what I found is, and the same kind of thing, it's like you start to take actions. You eat well, you sleep well, you do all the things that you can do. You have to find out what those things are, and you take action on the things that are going to pull you through it. And that those are the things that give you confidence, and you realize that fear is motivating for you to take action on the things you need to take action on. So it's the things that you do. And breathing really helps. The other thing I would add to the mix is what I found helpful for me was when I was in that really like afraid place, I would take some deep breaths. You start with breathing, that helps to reset your physiology. And I would say, pristine healing, healthier and stronger every day through my actions and God's help. Now, that was the centering mantra that I landed on. And the reason that worked for me was because I wanted to reset my brain with the breathing that set the pattern, go with the breathing, which resets the system, starts to calm the system down. But then it was encouraging my nervous system that I was going to heal, and I was getting stronger every day, first through my actions. So eating well, sleeping well, taking care of myself, doing all the things that I needed to do so that I got a better outcome. And then the last part was God's help, because certain things are not in your control. Things are a leap of faith. Things you take hope. And so that was I can't control all things, but I can control what I do. And that's what helped me a lot. Started with the breathing. That was my version of the centering mantra. And I also found that when I would do the centering mantra later on, when things were going better, if I said in my brain, I would go through my actions. If I wasn't doing the things, like I hadn't eaten great, or I wasn't sleeping well, or I was starting to drift back to not taking care of myself, my brain would go, ooh, it knew. It knew. I couldn't convince myself. It knew whether I was taking action or not. So when I would say that, it was a reminder for me on what I needed to do, and also accepting that there's some faith and there's some things that aren't in your control, but then you do the things that you need to do so that you put as much in your control as possible. And that's exactly what Alex was talking about. He's like, I don't really have anything. I just breathe. And I've had lots of experience that I can overcome the fear, and then I use it for fuel. And it's just because I've got a lot of experience of doing it and taking action. And that's all I had. He kind of got this funny look on his face and was pretty honest. I thought that was a pretty nice, honest explanation for just getting it done, man. Get it done. And you can't sidestep getting it done. You have to just take action, and is ultimately in your control. And then there's some luck and some God's will things that are also, that I think are important to let go of and know that that's the case and acknowledge that. And you can't control all things. So anyway, that's how you get over fear. That's how you overcome obstacles, whether it's something like Alex did where he climbed El Capitan without ropes, which seems crazy to me. Incidentally, the other thing I'll tell you about that, he says one of the things he loves about the free soloing is that you have to lock in and be completely present to do what you need to do. And he had some good explanations for, hey, there's risk here. I better really be careful with my holds. I better do the things I need to do. And he said those things brought about in him his best. And so that's part of what he loved. But fear was part of it. He would use fear. So that's how you get over obstacles. That's how you get over fear. Take it from Alex Honnold. He knows. I don't know anybody else on the planet that probably knows more than he does. So if his advice is breathe and then prepare and take the actions, and then I conveyed my experience to you too. So use those skills, work on it. You can overcome anything that's going on. You can make the best outcome out of whatever challenges you faced, whatever injury you faced, or even just the things that you face day to day that you need to get over to move forward and to be successful in life, relationships, finances, you name it. It's all some of those same foundational principles. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Everybody have a great day. It's actually gorgeous today. I'm out riding kind of out west a bit. Beautiful weather, and there's a cool little gather place out headed towards Powhatan. So have a great day, guys. Keep on thriving. Bye.